everybody. Now my music has stopped. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Egwuenu, and as you all know, I'm a front-end developer and content creator. I started this interview series last month where once in a month I get to invite somebody in the community to just chat. It could be random chats. We talk about tech, we talk about life in general, how to navigate your career in tech. So I have a special guest today, as you can see. Obinna Speaks is in the house. I'm very excited to have Obinna here, and today we are going to be chatting about, like I said, tech, life, career. Obinna, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm super excited to be here because I have been like advocating for Gift's like channel for like the longest because like I love her content and it's so exciting to like
Here because
chat with her.
I have been like
Yeah, it's so exciting to like chat with her on like her channel and yeah, let's do this.
Awesome. So I have a couple of questions, but feel free, everybody in the chat, feel free to pop in and ask any question. And you can either ask me questions or ask Obina questions. It's more like we're just here vibing. And yeah, I'll start with the first question I had in mind to ask you, Obina. Obina, can you tell us a bit about your how you started? I know right now you're a software engineer, but can you tell us about that journey, where you started from? Do you have like a tech background? So just tell us.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I do not have a computer science degree. Like, let me just start with that. I have a degree in electronics and computer engineering, which, like, if I'm being honest, like, I don't even know if I'm qualified to be an electronics engineer. But yeah, I started off like everybody like really confused about what to learn, how to learn that. Just trying out different things. I learned some like PHP. It wasn't working for me. I did some JavaScript. It didn't make any sense. I went back to like some HTML, started like learning from like scratch and reaching out to like people and saying, help me. I don't understand why this div is not showing how it's supposed to show. The CSS is not working. Yeah, a lot of confusion, but yeah, but consistency and like stuff and like we're here now. And I'm still really, really excited to like learn more stuff. So yeah, so nothing's changed.
Nice, interesting. I'm always very happy when I hear like people that don't have like the traditional tech background and they're still, doing great in the tech industry. So that's a pointer there. If you don't
Yeah.
have a degree or so don't feel like you don't belong, right? Because you can also excel when you decide to, take the plunge and get into tech.
Oh,
Right.
sorry. I just saw this question. So it's asking when that actually starts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
So I actually started coding in like 2014, like my first year in uni, and yeah, since then I've been doing this thing, right? So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
All right. Thanks for asking, Chooks. Okay, I think another idea, like I was supposed to say this in the beginning. Initially, the last interview that I did, I pre-recorded it, but the idea for going live is to have like this interaction where we can also talk to people in the chat as we're having the interview. So please send in your questions while we're talking, right? And yeah, talking about tech and what you did, can you tell us what you're currently doing now? And yeah.
Yeah, so right now I work as a software engineer at Gatsby, and I'm guessing like you all know like what Gatsby does. So Gatsby is it's a React based framework for the web, and I've worked in like different capacities at Gatsby over the past like a year and like a half. Um, and yeah, I also like do like some developer experience consulting on the side. So like if you have like any startups looking to like get in touch with developer communities, I'm always happy to chat with them on how to better their processes. So that's what I'm up to right now.
Nice, nice. When you hear the word consulting, the next thing is is money.
I beg, don't shall belong.
Belong.
Don't be anybody.
If you know that slang, if you know that slang, then you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, interesting to know. And just another thing, I've known Obinna for what, maybe 3, 4 years now. How did we
Yes.
meet Obinna?
I will tell you how we met because I remember the story. so
Yeah,
we so I know that like it was on Twitter, right? Like we like I just used to see gift Egwuenu, and I'm like, who is this? Gifts? How might I meet this human? And like one time we we had like Jamstack Lagos. I think that was like the first time we met like in person.
yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but like that was like the first time I was speaking in Lagos,
Are you
right?
serious?
Yeah, that was the first conference, like that was the first like meetup I did like in Lagos, and we had a very nice time. Like we chatted, and then yeah, that was how we met, like in person, but like no near like Twitter and
Yeah, I've
stuff.
been seeing Obina's. First of all, I was seeing poem like Obina, you tell us everything. Don't worry. I was first seeing Obina speak, and then I saw that Obina writes poem, and the next thing I started seeing Obina on Scotch.io, which is this platform where developers, write articles. I was like, oh, who is this guy? Who is this guy? And then I, started talking to him on Twitter before I invited him for Jamstack Lagos. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's,
Yes.
um,
Speaking of Scotch, like even like so while I was in like my confusion and like state of like just learning everything and trying to like keep notes and stuff, I met like a couple of people, and one person I met like particularly I want to call his name because
see,
yeah so I met, I don't know if you know Ichulo on Twitter, but I met Williams Imo, and Williams was like, hey, you should write something for like Scotch, and I'm like, cool. So I wrote something, I sent it to him, and he's like, okay, go publish it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I published it, and then I got a check, like a pay of like $100. And I'm like, wait, you mean I can get money from this thing? I'm like, tell me more.
yeah.
So that's yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
I,
that's how.
I I definitely felt the same way. Okay, we have kind of similar stories there with
Yeah,
technical writing. At first, I was writing. I don't even know if whatever I was writing on my blog, people were reading it. I was just writing. Eventually, I found out that you could actually make money from it, and I think my first article was also $100 from Scotch. So
man, it's so exciting, right? Like nowadays, like when I go like on Log Rocket and I see a lot of Nigerian authors, it makes me so happy because everybody's writing, everybody's sharing what they are learning, everybody's like hoping to like learn more. Everybody's like, why, somebody says something, or like, okay, how do you know? What if we did it this way? So you like get different perspectives, and it's so amazing to just see names that you can resonate with, and it's just so awesome, man.
true. I literally tweeted this last week because I was trying to figure out something. Ekene, you're in the chat. So I was trying to figure
Ah,
out with you three, and I went to Log Rocket and I read Ekene's article, and I think I read one other girl's article. She's also in Nigeria. And then I was just scrolling through the homepage. I could say that I saw more than 5 Nigerian article
yeah. Sorry,
writing.
just because you mentioned Ekene, I just want to put it out there that anywhere you see Ekene, Bilam,
Bilal.
collect money from that guy.
Yeah, a lot of Nigerians are doing well in the tech industry, so I'm very happy. So I have one question here from Chooks Obi. For someone starting off in web development, can they perform as a software engineer?
Hmm. This is a good question, and because like I'm going to be like Nigerian enough, I'm going to ask you a question. Like, what do you mean like perform as a software engineer? Because if you think of like what the term like what engineering is, and mostly some of these terms are just like based on the company you're in and based on like what the leveling guide is, and like where they have to place engineers in order for them to do properly. But really it's just names, right? Like you can be in a company and you're a front end developer, and you're in another company and you're a software engineer level three. It's just that we're just building, like we're building stuff with like the tools and that are available, and I am going back to the process and like making it better. So can you like clarify the question, or if I've answered it, that's all right.
Yeah, I think titles really titles can be a bit confusing. Software
Yeah.
engineer, web developer. At the end of the day, for some of the roles, you end up doing the same thing, writing code. So yeah, are the skill sets the same? It depends. It
Yeah,
really depends.
mostly like I know that I never like to answer a question with like it depends, but to be honest, it really depends because for example, I would always like introduce myself as a front end developer because like that's mostly what I do. I build with like front end tools like React, and I build like with the Jamstack, which allows me to like utilize on like GraphQL and using like other third party services to like fix problems that would really need like servers to do. And a web developer can also be a software engineer, man, in my own opinion. But
Yeah.
I mean, you pick.
I mean, I agree, but a lot of people have, different takes on this. I remember one time I should probably turn off my notification. I remember
Oh,
one time I made a video about how to get into tech, and I mentioned software engineering a lot. And then somebody commented and was like, "You can't be a software engineer if you don't have a degree." So,
yeah, yeah. So the thing I will not I like the thing that I call out anytime I see it is gatekeeping. Like you don't tell people who to be.
yeah,
Like you don't have the right to tell people who to be. Like I just explained, Chooks. Like in different companies, I might join a company right now and then they have like a engineering level guy that places front end engineers differently. So I'm not. So it's not what I like. It's not my title is no longer a software engineer. But as it is now, that's the title I have at Gatsby, and I build with the tool and I engineer with the tool. So like, you kind of just, it's not set in stone. But don't gatekeep. Don't tell people what they can be and what they shouldn't be.
yeah, I agree to that. All right, moving on. I have another question, and this is regarding a very common thing. As I can see, we have a lot of Nigerians in the chat, so I know you people will relate to this.
Yeah.
This very common word called japa, and I've been
Uh,
hearing it a lot. Can you like explain it to me like I'm five? What does
yes. So, chapa, what you think of it is two syllables. It's ja-apa. You understand? So what it means is to carry your bag and face anywhere that is not Nigeria. I'll move. Don't mind me, but like, well, yeah, that's like what it means. That it's just carry your bag and run, man. Cause and then you do the legendary Ego B sign. You get like you put the
yeah.
you put the,
Funny enough, I did that, but
I forgot to do it.
yeah. Follow up question to this is,
Yeah.
as I know, and I'm quite familiar because I know a lot of people ask me this. Do you have any recommendations for people looking to Japa? Sorry, for people looking for jobs, like remote jobs, or jobs in
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. So the number one recommendation that I always put out because it's what helps me is share everything. Like write about anything. If you have like a thought or a question, like write about it. Like it doesn't have to be like a how-to article or how this one happened or like just share everything. Like write about whatever it is you're learning. If you're not sure what you're learning or you're not sure what you should learn, write about your experience. Like you can have like conversations about that. What it does, what writing helps you do is it kind of like gives you a platform to stand on because especially if you're like if you're in Nigeria, like most people don't give a lot of opportunities to people in Nigeria, which is kind of just annoying. But wherever it is, like we are, like I know I do this. I know like Gift does this. I know developer IO does this. Like we're like hire Nigerians, go there, hire people, pay them well. Like I literally have like a lot of conversations about this, but the the advice I'll give you is share more and try to like put yourself in positions where you're able to like sh- um learn more so that you can like have basis on which to like share. So yeah, just
Yeah,
share, man. That's
I,
it. Like
I
tell
agree.
everybody,
I
carry trumpets.
True. I am always for share your work. I literally say it every time because that was what changed my career. If I was literally sitting down in one place just writing code and just doing my work, I don't think I'll be where I am today. But yeah, it
Gatekeep,
really
please,
helps because
career.
it's more like you saying, telling the world, this is what I'm doing. Look at me, because again, yeah, that's just basically what I would
Yeah,
say. Chicks Obi is asking, considering the fact that the field is very dynamic, what advice will you give a newbie in the field
in
in terms
terms
of
of what.
what to focus on? Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. So they're always like they always because there's a lot of what's it called? There's a lot of technologies going around, right? There's a lot of like, oh, learn this, don't learn this, don't learn that. To be honest, like and I can only speak from my perspective, like, and note that what I'm saying is not law, but if I were to give like an advice to a newbie, I would say like focus on the things that are appealing to you, right? Don't do things that you feel like you should do. Just do things that are like appealing. So, for example, if like when I learned like some PHP, it wasn't really going well for me, and I was like, okay, cool. I probably don't want to be. I probably don't want to like delve right into logic. Like, maybe let me see this other side. I tried out different things to see what really like made sense for me. So as a newbie, like, don't be afraid to experiment and try out things. Like, there's no. I know that yes, I might say yes. There's no timer on you or anything, but I think it's okay to like find what works for you. I know like some designers that were developers that it wasn't really working out for them, but now they became designers, and now they're the kind of designers that developers like to work with because they know the struggle. That's what I mean. Like, so yeah, my advice would be like try out different things, find out what works for you. And I know that there's when I say try out different things, there's a lot of things to try out, but you know, kind of like seek mentorship. You can ask like a question like, oh, what do you think I should do? And then if you ask me this question, I'm not going to say, oh, go and learn this, that's what you should learn. I'm like, okay, what do you like? I like to have a conversation. Like, what do you like to do? Are you more like, do you like to draw? Do you like to like do something, like try to know the person, then you can probably like say, okay, if this, then maybe that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it really helps to also think about what you're interested in. Like,
Yeah.
don't do again the tech. Like you just said, tech field is very like should I say diverse? Or there's a lot of things out there. Literally every day there is a new thing to learn. But if you follow the hype, then you're not doing yourself any good because you see a lot of people screaming React, React, then you feel like okay, I should then learn React, but you don't
Yeah.
like it. Do you get so
Yeah.
make sure it's something that you're interested in. Yeah,
Yeah.
my own take on that question.
Yeah.
Okay, I like the way this is going. Asking Obina,
Same, same.
Obina. So
I saw a question on what is the first programming language you learned when getting started.
let me just
Well, I learned JavaScript, like, and note that I'm still learning JavaScript because there are a lot of like parts of it that it didn't really go well with the first time I learned it. So like everyday practicing has helped me like learn a little bit more. And because like and this is like my own take, right? You can like because like I learned like JavaScript in a way that I learned it. Like I kind of like so it's I can look like at the framework and be like, okay, cool. How do I implement this and how do I like learn this? But you can learn like from anywhere you want. So that's the first programming language that I learned. So, but there's this thing that I always see in law movies where they're like, don't answer more than you're asked. It gives space for
let me.
more questions.
I think you answered it well.
Yeah.
And allow.
Sorry, we've
Um,
seen. Sorry, I just want to call out another chairman that you should bill. His name is Adewale Abati. He's known
yeah,
as ASKI. When
yeah.
you see him, bill him.
Billing. Yeah, I think that is now the latest, you know, thing
Mm-hmm.
in tech. Build them because there are a lot
Bill
of
them.
money people in this tech industry. But anyway, let's move away from that and go into something else.
Yeah.
Now I would like to ask you, Obina. I in if you joined this stream before it started, you see why I put software engineer and filmmaker. So me when you told me that you're a filmmaker, I was like, since when? So can
Ah,
you tell us a bit about some of your hobbies that you have? So I want
yeah,
to you don't write code every day now. So you have other
yeah, for sure.
so tell us.
So I like to like do different things. Like I try different things. Like as a human, I'm just very experimental because I'm trying to like see what works for me and what I'm comfortable with. So I write poems. Like I like write poetry and try to like recite them when the world was before the world started burning. Like I used to go to like open mics and like do some poetry. And then because like the poems were like for me, it felt like I was doing something that I was sharing only one medium. I I kind of like, okay, how can I translate this poetry into film? So I started filming like people, like birds flying, or like people walking on the streets. Please don't film people without their permission,
Yeah.
please. But why it's like do those things, and I just cut the pieces up and put them together and add some background music as my poetry. So like I'm just trying to like um do my bit and just learn stuff. So part of my hobbies are like filmmaking, I write poems, I go cycling, I run. Recently I ran 5K.
Oh
Cannot feel my
wow.
laps, but but yeah.
That can never be hobby for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's interesting to know. Adding to, I know I asked you a question, but I can also pitch in my own hobbies as
Oh
well.
yes, please, please, please. What are your hobbies?
Uh, I do. I like to call myself creative, but I don't know if I'm creative. So
Nah, you're creative. What are you saying?
I do YouTube, and find that I don't see it as work because it's just something. It started as an interest that I had, and I've been keeping up with it, and I enjoy doing it outside of work. Even though I'm talking about tech sometimes, I still don't see it as, to me, it's more like hobby. Even though at
Ah,
some point
yes, you
I'll
could.
start getting money from it. And yeah, Kene, thank you for bringing that up. I also love cooking. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know this already. I love experimenting with food. I there was a time where I became a very good dancer, but I don't know what happened. I stopped practicing. I also dance a lot. Uh,
We can dance on this stream. Oh.
no,
Ah,
no. But yeah,
I have small moves.
photography, views, and what else did I mention? Uh, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Those are my hobbies. Yeah,
Yeah, awesome, man.
very nice.
You send me like some recipes to like make some food, right?
Yeah, sure, sure. You remember the spaces conversation we had that time now?
Yeah. Ah, well,
Talking
that
about
was
food.
hard.
The self-acclaimed chef is my food handle. Self-acclaimed. I can type it, but it's too long.
Yeah.
The self the self-acclaimed chef on Instagram. Check out
Yeah.
the foods I've made. All right.
Yeah.
I have
It's
another. Oh, we have a question. Okay. Obinna, we're
Obinna.
trying different things. What point should you focus on one thing? Because the companies want to hire experts at their fields.
Hmm. So so there's this quote by Kotsi EO. I don't know if you know Kotsi. She's a YouTuber too. She
Yeah, I
makes
know.
awesome videos. Kotsi said something. Kotsi said, "You will try many things that will flop, but it's not everything you try that will flop." You get so in the sense of I say try different things if you have the bandwidth and you have the time, right? It's like like I said, I can only give you my perspective. At this time when I was trying different things, I was in uni. I wasn't worrying about rent. I wasn't worrying about like a lot of things. Like my mom was still taking care of me, right? But I would say because like companies are focused on like if you know a particular field where like for example like it, s- wait, I'm looking for the best way to answer this question. Toby, I don't know if Toby does this thing. Toby, I can't remember. I don't know his last name, but it's at Toby on Twitter. He does this thing where he uses recommend job specific what they need from you, the specifications they need from you, and he goes to go and learn those particular things for that particular role. Do you get what I mean? In the process of learning particular things for the role that you want, you pick up like skills. You pick up the things that you feel comfortable with. Like you can see a DevOps role now, and there are a lot of things there, and you're like, okay, cool, I want to be a DevOps engineer. I'm going to learn. These are the requirements. This is what I'm going to go and do. But you get to a point and you see that it choke. You get like you cannot breathe again. Then you just say, okay, cool. Maybe just maybe this is not the time. Because if you're trying to like focus, because company you want to focus on what companies, if you don't have the bandwidth to like try out different things, I want to focus on what companies are looking for, just just try to like do those particular things. And if you choke, move to the next thing. You get so yeah.
Yeah. Ekene has a question.
Okay.
Ekene, how do you cope with living or working in a new country where you don't have friends? It's hard. Well, Obina, the question is for you.
Who I use question? Answer your question. Answer your
I can
question.
answer first. I would say it's hard sometimes, and it does not help again that we're in a pandemic. It would have been better if
When panini.
we are in a and we're on lockdown and we have curfew. So you have to do, usually if you were to meet or try to make friends, now you have to put in times for the effort to actually find friends. But I think I have a few friends, even though I don't get to see them often, but it helps. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah. On standing on what Gifter said, I'll just say yeah, it's tough, right? Like people tell you the story of like moving to a new country, all this beautiful and friendly world. You see videos how I moved to this place, how I moved to that place, setting up my new apartment, but they don't tell you like
Yeah,
there's the sadness that comes after. There's the like, oh, where do I get Nigerian food? Or like, what am I supposed to eat? Like, what's this? But you kind of the way I cope is like I try to like try new things. Like I try to run, I try to cycle. These things were not they were not priorities when I was in Nigeria, to be honest. Like I didn't even know I could run. Right? Like who's chasing me? Why are you running? You know? but yeah, so like just getting
yeah.
some nice hobby.
It's also the same for me again because I noticed that they say when people jackpot, that's when they know they have skills in different areas. But I feel like it's more of coping for me. It's a coping mechanism. So I said, this additional interesting or hobbies because yeah, they are just things that would keep me, sane and busy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that's
hey, we
the
missed this question
answer.
from Ace.
Is
Um,
said, where can we show some of the experiments, Obinna? Where can we see some of your experiments, rather?
yeah, so I have a SoundCloud,
Hmm.
but
Link him.
anything you find there, keep it to yourself. This was me like in 2017. Like this is a different like version of me. But like I have a SoundCloud where like I have like I did an EP once. I have like videos on YouTube, but they're private. Like most of the new stuff that I'm working on right now is more like it's more personal to me. So I haven't really shared. Like it takes some certain level of like courage to share part of yourself with like the world. So like I'm taking my time. I'm doing my thing. I'm just learning and experimenting. But go check out the SoundCloud though.
You give
Anything you
you
find, keep it to
link it
yourself.
to the bio. Link it to the bio.
Don't link
It's
anything.
sorry, separate.
My employer might be on your timeline. Your timeline.
We have one question before I also ask something else, or maybe I should ask now. Obinna, I know that you started a podcast at one point.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Oh yeah, so I have a podcast. You can link this. This is
Okay.
finding balance. So my podcast, like I chat about like life. Like that's where like you get to like know the Obina, not like the Obina that's like, welcome to this live stream. What are we doing today? We're building a this is me. Like this is like my vibes and trips and just me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of like just offer like my own insights, being like a young person trying to like navigate life and work and finding balance because we all have to like find our place in this world. So like that's why I do my podcast. It's
Yeah.
deep. It's deep, man. Please listen.
Question. What do you think about following trends in the industry? For example, if there is a new skill set, is it okay to stick to your core skill set or follow the trend?
So this is a very good question. Thanks, Jukes, for this question because it's there's a thing to know like when to it's always so this is the principle, right? It's you have to learn how to learn, like how to unlearn and how to relearn. Because imagine people that stuck with jQuery when jQuery was like booming. Everybody's like, nah, what is this React stuff? This is for new school kids. I'm going to stick with my jQuery and build my stuff. Now you see that they had to like learn the new stuff and figure out like how to build. So the industry are like following trends. Like maybe just give it time to breathe. See like the problems it solves. Like if something comes out, and if you're the kind of person that likes to like read up on like what's new in the version 10.10 and 10.11, do be that person, but know like the improvements, know what's coming, know if it fits into your workflow, if what you're using is solving the problem. And like for example, there's a like for example, I'll give you an example um when we used to like pass props in React, for example. I'm sorry, but I write React. I know that a lot of people write Vue, but like if you pass like props from like what's it called, like a like you're passing prop like on every layer and every place, like it kind of becomes messy. And we had the context API, so like now it's easier to like pass props. Would you keep passing props just because? It's not like it depends on how you look at it, but in this industry, I feel like it's important to know how to learn and relearn and unlearn. Like, bro, you have to be on your feet, man. It's a marathon. It's not a race.
Sure. To give another maybe take on this question before we move on is what I can say is I think it's okay if you follow. So, for instance, I'm a Vue.js developer, right? And now there's Vue 3, and in the next year or two, a lot of applications or companies will want to move their Vue 2 app to Vue 3. And if I tell myself that I want to be writing Vue 2 for the next 5 years, and you get that scenario I'm doing myself because I have to stick to the current trends in that specific
Yeah.
industry, not then trying to learn V3, trying to learn Kotlin, trying to learn, all these new things. So, yeah, I hope that clarifies it for you, Chooks. And okay, we have another question. Eugene is asking remote or
Hey,
relocate work.
Eugene.
Eugene, hi. Remote
How
or
you
relocate
doing?
for the same companies you're working for. Which one would you choose? Or more relocate?
See, Eugene, you know you're from Eugene, my guy. Eugene is from Kenya. Shout out to all the awesome people in Kenya. Now, if you're in Nigeria, right, which is like kind of like people here, you know that we have a series of like issues that are not really helping. Like, for example, lights, electricity is a problem, internet is a problem. I saw people tweeting about like MTN and how it was like blocked for like a couple of days and people could not use their Zenith Bank and like so to be honest, I worked remotely for in Nigeria, and I had this one live stream that I will never forget. I was streaming with Jason Lenkov, and my NEPA took lights. Like in the middle of the live stream, NEPA took lights, fam. I was just there. They brought back the lights. This was like what happened. I said, just pretend like nothing happened. Continue. So yeah, relocate, man. Relocate to like a place you can relocate to like a field that helps you like work remotely. Like I still work remotely. Is that interference?
Sorry, my voice is echoing, but I hear me.
Yeah, but the audio is like choppy now.
Just have this problem time. Please,
Um,
the next question you can answer.
I don't know. It's choppy. Still, the audio is choppy. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please bear with us.
People stand, remove.
Okay. Okay. Can you let me know in the chat if you all can still hear me? You can hear me, right? Um.
Is this better now?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. It switched from my mic to my computer. That's why. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So we're back.
Okay. Olamileko is asking, how do I apply to get international jobs from Nigeria, and how do I stand out among a lot of applicants?
Hmm. So, Olamide, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, from my own experience, my writing and sharing is what really helps me. Like, just really proving to people that I know my stuff. Right? You can like apply to the jobs. Like even the ones that might feel a little bit overwhelming, and I mean not too overwhelming. Like, but like let's say you check out like 5 out of like 10 boxes. You're like, okay, cool. Let me give it a shot. Most people don't know this about like me, but when I applied to Gatsby to work, I actually applied for like a staff engineer role, right? And if you know what a staff engineer is, I was nowhere close to a staff engineer. I promise you, I was nowhere close. Like when I realized what I'd done, I was like, oh my goodness. But I had the interview, like, and then I just had the conversations, and we just landed at the point where like, okay, we can't hire you for this role, but we can hire you for this role, and that's okay. And so just apply, like write a good cover letter, a very good cover letter. Like most companies read your cover letter because they have a lot of resumes to go through. So before they even open up your resume to see all the awesome stuff you've done with like all the tools that you're using, like your cover letter is like the first face. Like you want to impress the first person that looks at your profile,
Yeah.
right? That's like one tip that I know that helps. So write your cover letter properly, and then yeah.
Shameless plug, I have a video about how I landed a job. So you can also watch that to get some tips. But out of the top of my head, I can share one or two with you. So if
Yeah.
you're looking to land international jobs, look into LinkedIn jobs. A lot of a lot of jobs, tech jobs you find in Germany, Netherlands, Canada, right? And yeah, it's it's not easy. I won't tell you that it's easy. Like you would find the job immediately. You have to go through a lot of applications and rejections and all of that. But if you're consistently applying and you package your CV, your cover letter, and you have a lot of things to show the employer that they can hire you, then I think you're already on the good or right path to land your international job.
Yeah.
Right. Let's move on. I think we had another question.
Oh,
How are you people managing working from home, especially for long hours?
you do want to go first, or shall I?
You see this chair I'm sitting on? I sit on this chair some days, 16 hours. Some days, no,
Oh,
16
man.
hours is too much. A long time. Sometimes I finish work and I'm just here.
Ah, no,
So
give don't do that.
well, the good thing is I have a smartwatch that tells me to stand up every hour. So my target is to stand up at least 8 hours in a day and take a small walk. So I do that a lot. So that helps. So even though I'm sitting down for a long time, I still get to stand up and yeah, that's
Yeah.
my
Yeah. For me, first of all, long hours. Like I work 8 hours every day, and I it's good to have and I would say this with like my full chest. It's good to have boundaries with work, right? Like you need to have like clear boundaries. Like to be honest, like so you if your contract with your companies you work 8 hours every day, please work your 8 hours. Don't do any overtime. Like don't put your mental health like because you want to keep a job, then you're stressing yourself and your because your performance is just going to be dropping because you see that you're not performing at the level that you're supposed to. So for me, I manage by like setting very clear boundaries. I don't have Slack on my phone. If I'm away from this desk, I'm away and I put on Slack, oh, I'm away for like this amount of time, I'm taking a walk, or I'm coming back, or I'm here for this time. It's because I noticed that there's this thing about like especially Nigerians, right? We have this idea of we'll die on the line. Do you understand? We are ready, like me and you are going to die on the line. We're ready now. Yeah, it's good to like see that hunger, but you need to keep clear boundaries like work and stuff. So for me, I put my hobbies I have like hobbies I do, and when it's time to work, I work. Like when it's time to work, don't be texting everybody and doing your WhatsApp. Work so that you can justify to yourself the break you're taking, and then
mm,
do other things, man.
yeah.
Please don't be sitting down for 16 hours. Oh.
No, I exaggerated there. I just thought about it in my head. I don't sit down for 16 hours, no. Max 10 hours. Yeah.
A break.
Amaka is asking a question, but I don't think I know the answer. So maybe you do.
I'm
Um,
confused
I'm,
about something I always hear in remote work. Job will say fully remote, but we'll have something like authorization to work in the US without employer sponsorship is required. Yeah, so the short of this thing is that the companies want people that are remote but in the US and maybe like already have like a H1B visa, which is like the US work visa. And these are not like the kind of remote jobs that you want to keep an eye out for. Like you want to keep an eye out for remote jobs that are remote, like not remote comma US or like remote comma. So it's very easy to miss comma and slash. If it's
hmm,
remote slash US, then they want people from around the world, and then if they see somebody in the US, no problem. But yeah, you need to like you need to be careful so that you don't apply for a job and think like it's moving forward, and then you see that yeah, it didn't work out like that. So,
yeah. All right. Let's see another question. Hmm. Shout out to Obinna and Gift. Thank you, Peter. Thank you,
thanks,
everybody,
man.
for being active in the chat. By the way,
Yeah, I'm so
Chooks
happy.
has been super active, coming off
Ah, Tux is giving me. Tux is like, I
back to
give you
back.
like questions. Give you questions.
So he has another. What are the platforms to put yourself out there in terms of writing and sharing?
Dev.co.
True.
Like It's super easy to put out an article there. DevTO, share it on Twitter, share it with your friends, put it on WhatsApp, put it on Discord, share it anywhere.
Anyway,
Email me, I will share it for you. I will read it.
like
I will share it
yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Put
as
it
well as
anywhere. Like
because I
if
am
you have enough, sorry, okay,
yeah. You can continue.
I was going to say if you have enough like articles on these platforms, I guarantee you that one of these recruiters from like LogRocket or like all these writing platforms that paid writing will reach out to you and say, "Hey, we've seen your articles. Please come and give us some of your brilliance." You know? So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, see, put it anywhere. You don't know who will find it, or you don't know who is going to read it, or you don't know who is your article or whatever it is you're sharing is going to help, right? The internet is there for you to,
Oh,
share.
yes, I have a. If you're looking for this is another shameless plug. So if you're looking
Okay.
for a place to like write, I have a friend. His name is Aaron. He has like this writing platform called A List Parts, A List
Yeah,
Apart.
yeah, yeah.
So this A List Apart has been existing since 1998. This is how old it is, but it has like very nice articles. And if you want to write for it, I just send me a DM and obviously like send me some of the things you've written so that
Sure.
we cannot we want to show this, we want to show that we know what we're doing. Do you understand? So like send me some of the things you've written. Like if you're open to having a conversation, we can like see how we can get you on more platforms. But write more, I promise you. You don't see. Ha!
It has done a lot for both of us, so we are
I can
speaking from
write.
experience.
Somebody will message you and say that your article helped me in this thing, and you are sleeping, you just see email in the night because it's 10 p.m. for you, it's 10 a.m. for the person, and the person is
Sure.
like, your article helped me, and you're like, who am I?
No, I've been there too. Yeah. Shemilore is asking, when you start out coding, you will mostly work alone. What are important things to keep in mind when you start working with other people or in a company setting? Interesting.
Gift, please go. There's a
Answer.
consultant here.
Um, there's some important things you need to know or have in mind. A lot of people classify them as soft skills because we are developers. We talk about learn JavaScript, learn some other skills that are also very important for you. I can hear myself.
Don't just keep talking, it's good, let's play.
Also important for you to have. One of them is knowing how to communicate a lot. So knowing when to ask for help is also very important. So important things to keep in mind when you start working with other people in a team is always communicate, always be communicating. If you find out that you're spending too much time on a problem and you feel like, oh, I will figure this thing out yourself, my guy, you spend 5 hours on that problem. So it's better you ask early. So asking questions, ask even if you feel like the questions are, stupid in your head. To those people that you're asking, it might be something that they've already encountered and they know the answer. Just to make it quicker for you to solve your problem, it's better you ask. Communication is one thing, asking questions is another thing. I think there are a lot of things. I
Yeah.
worked at Adela in 2018, and when I joined, they taught us this whole soft skills thing, and it's stuck, right? Integrity
See,
is also another thing. So yeah, those are the
yeah.
things I can share.
So for me, I would say the soft skills are. Can you highlight that? Oh, yes. So
Yes.
soft skills are very important, especially for like engineers. And I know that yes, you've worked alone mostly, and now you feel like, oh, okay, Shebi, when it was my, I don't know if we have like other people that don't understand pigeon in this call, but you'd be like, Shebi, when it was just me, I was solving it on my own. We die here. We need to like it takes a while, but like you need to like see that okay, if I try, you time box a problem, right? Important things to learn is like how to collaborate, how to communicate like respectful communications, like, and how to like not feel like you have to solve this problem or like nobody. If you see like a problem is giving you too much time and spending too much time on it, and this is from my experience like working in a startup, like startups move very fast. See, there's this guy that used to tweet in the startup, he was learning to wear many hats. I thought it was joke. Bro, like there are sometimes like I spend like 30 minutes on a project and like it's not I'm not doing it's not working well. I'd be like, hey, who is open to pairing? We'll do this thing in 5 minutes. I promise you. It's probably like you're not seeing something, but it's right
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah.
So learn how to collaborate, learn how to like communicate, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are very helpful tips. Chidebere, when they see this money, Omo, I don't know.
Now, 8K they give me. Now, 8K they give me.
Eskido, I bet where will they see the money? Eskid is
8K
also
and Peter
asking,
Ekene.
oh,
Peter Ekene they give me.
a technical question. Eskid is asking any advice for those of us that want to blow like both of you. Is Eskid that will answer the question for us? We don't
Who is
know.
blow? What is your definition of blow? Blow as the knockout or like C4 or like
Olamilekon, what are the requirements or the stage you need to get to apply to international? I mean, the number of years of experience. It depends, but I would say mostly from 2 years, 2 years of experience. Sometimes you would see somebody with 1 year and 6 months experience getting a remote job. It's possible, and it's basically on how you package and the kind of skills you have to offer, right? If they see that, oh, you've done a lot of things, you can. And I feel like a lot of companies are very keen on, you know, interest or passionate about you're interested or passionate about learning. So if you show that in an interview, even if you're not qualified for that job, right? Because they see that in you already, they can decide to apply what's the word again? They can
recruiting.
decide to recruit you and you learn on the job, right?
Yeah,
So that also happens.
yeah. There,
But
there,
yeah.
there are some companies that you go and you see like 6 years of experience in something, and it seems just got invented like 4 years ago. You
Mm,
get. So sometimes when you see those years of experience, you self like check them, right? Like sometimes the reason why they put those maybe two plus years that they don't want people that like are like they want people that are willing to like learn very fast, and they want people that are not like so why would a company hire for like 2 years of experience when they can hire for 5? Do you get? So those things are just like technicalities for recruiters. Like it's not so sometimes like Gift has said, you can see somebody that has like 1 year of experience performing at like a very high level. There's this dude I know. I forget his last name. Olamide. I used to call him Olamide, not YBNL. But this guy, like, started coding like 2 years ago, and he's a natural. Now Olamide can apply for a job that is like more than like 2 years of experience because in that short time he has been able to gather 2 years of experience. These things are just numbers. Shoot your shot, though. Shoot your
shoot,
shot.
shoot your shot.
Yeah. Oh. Ah,
Yeah, let's see. Mubarak, I feel like writing more technical articles is good. Oh, this is not a question. Okay.
yeah,
It
yeah.
puts you ahead in the door. Personally, from my experience, I got a remote. Oh, this is nice. You see, testimony time.
Tell us. Yes.
Please, if you have testimony, tell
Tell
us.
us.
Abeg.
I say recruiter will tell you a recruiter will tell you I've seen a lot of your work. I've heard a lot about you. They've not heard nobody has told them about you. It's your articles. It's those you will see recruiters hanging around in your LinkedIn. They're just
Yeah.
there looking around because they're trying to see who is this person. So if you don't show them what you cannot link your a recruiter that is non-technical will not go to your GitHub and start looking through your commits and checking this thing. So that's why soft skills are also important. It's important to show yourself out there, even if you're not a put yourself out there kind of person.
Mhm.
Like document your own processes of like deploying something. People would buy it, man. I promise you.
The little things also count. It does not have to be this very big, gesture that you do. So
Five
yeah,
5 minutes article, like 2 minutes article, safe.
little things.
Opinionated articles. Like I have this article on like why does GraphQL do this thing, and it's just my opinion. Like it's not law. And at the end of the day, I say, tell me more, please. Oh, myself,
I'm learning, learning in
I'm
public.
learning. Exactly.
I want to talk about two quick things before we move on. The first
Yeah.
one is showing your work and learning in public. These are the two things that I practice. I'll just give you a brief overview of what they mean. First of all, showing your work is literally you get to show your work. You learn something new. You just found out that CSS, you can center CSS with grid. First of all, is either you write about it, you post it on Twitter, you share it with your colleagues. Like these are just small ways, right? Even if you're not the one that invented it, you literally learned it from somewhere, but it's a new knowledge to you, right? That's
Yeah.
another. I do it a lot. If you follow me on Twitter, you always see that I'm always posting stuff. The other part of it, learning in public, is basically putting yourself in a lot of us learn in private, right? Which is okay. But to be honest, it's more beneficial when you do it publicly because you're putting yourself in a situation where people that are more experienced in that tech, they find you and they see that, oh, this person is actually doing something to learn. They can then, I've had situations where literally the last video I made, GitHub code spaces, I've never used this. I just checked it out and I was like, oh, this is nice. Oh, I got an invite. Oh, this is nice. Let me just make a video. As I was making the video, literally as I was learning it, I was making the video. And the project manager of GitHub Spaces sent me a DM after that. If I want to learn more about it, I can email her, which I was like, oh wow. So she even watched my video.
See,
Can you imagine?
see, like this now. Let's see, gift. I have an announcement. I'm now working at GitHub or Spaces.
There you go.
It
It's not
happen.
yet.
Shit,
But
but you
yeah,
know they
that
happen.
was an example. So it really, really works if you're a developer and you're looking at, how to japa or blow. You did
But
not yet
you know
for
they
real.
happen. After my question, you know they happen.
Is
See,
no, it
if you
happens
show
to be
if you
honest.
show unnecessary interest in, like, not unnecessary, but like if you take something and become unnecessary with it, people in that space will say, this person probably wants to learn more. This person knows enough. Let's collaborate. Let's do something. I'm looking for somebody on my team that knows this particular thing. See, like me, I try to, like, and this is just me just being a shameless plug for myself. Like I said, I'm doing some
Shameless plug
developer
everything.
experience, developer experience consulting for some people. If I tell you that the way I got this thing was just always shouting about, oh, how does the developer deal with our products? If you know how many engineers that I know that, if I was not working remotely, some engineers on my team would have beat me already, because I'm like, see, we'll not do this thing until the developer is happy. We can't do it. And this is why. Come, let's go and fix the thing. Because at the end of the day, it's the person that is using your tool that will advocate for you, safe, that would even tell people, his friends, safe. And me, safe, like, this learning in public thing. I want to be like Gift, too. I
Please
want,
do
I
it.
want to learn in public, but it's hard. It's kind of hard for me, and it's thing that I'm trying to, like, get over, because in my mind, exactly, somebody said imposter syndrome.
Oh
Thank you
yeah.
for that question, Chooks Obi.
Okay.
Chooks, my guy.
And that let us answer the question and we'll wrap up. Okay.
Chooks, my guy. One Henneke for you.
How do you deal with imposter syndrome? Do you want to answer?
Yeah. So imposter syndrome is something that I'm constantly dealing with. I promise you, like constantly, every single time. Like, it comes up, but it's the intensity that matters these days. So my imposter syndrome, like is because I look at it and I tell it, see, it's me and you today, but don't mind me. But to be honest, like, I try to put myself in more positions where I'm able to learn. I try to collaborate with people that have more experience than I do, so that as I see them solve the problems, I'm learning. Okay, this person is not bringing these answers from the air. They are bringing it from somewhere. And because somebody knows more than you does not mean that they're smarter than you. It just means they've seen it before. So at this point now that you've seen it before, you see that your imposter syndrome, I don't personally, I don't think it's something that goes away. I just think it's something that reduces in intensity. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's almost easy. I won't say almost. It's the same thing for me. A lot of things that I do, I feel like an imposter, but you is when you allow that thought to take over your mindset. That's when it affects you. So every single time I feel like I am not worthy to be in this position, or I don't feel like I have enough technical knowledge to be doing these things, I just tend to. It's hard, but I just tend to shove it away and be like, oh, I can do this, let me try. And at the end of the day, I do it, right? And then I'll be like, oh, I actually did that thing. Okay, I think I can go further. And it also
Yeah.
applies to when I'm learning or when I'm working with a specific technology. I feel like I don't know this thing, no, let me not fall my hand. But I still go ahead, learn it, do the thing. And yeah, it's a never-ending cycle, imposter syndrome. I don't think
Yeah.
even the most senior engineers, they still have it, right?
Oh
So
yes, yes.
you know
Like,
that.
it made me feel better. I have this colleague that I love so much, Lori Bath. I don't know if I pronounced her last name properly, but Lori on Tech on Twitter.
I know.
She she's so amazing that she's very honest with me. She said, see, Obinna, see this thing, I don't know, but let's see how we're going to do it, right? And this is somebody that is, like, way senior than I am. Being honest with me about, like, not really understanding something, and let's figure it out together. It kind of just helps you. So this is how, like, you put yourself in positions where this kind of things can happen to you. So that's better.
Nice.
Emmanuel said,
I wanted to say more questions are coming.
yes.
It's a 1 hour mark video. Okay.
Man.
I can I can take Eskid. I think I saw Eskid's
Wait,
question. So I
wait,
can
let
take.
me just tell Emmanuel, thank you. Thank you, Emmanuel, for loving my dread. Thank you for noticing
Oh,
my hair. It's something I'm trying. I just want to see how it goes. Thank you very much.
okay. Nice.
See, why did
Adewale
you like this
Abati.
good question?
Eskid, how can we get into developer experience consultancy? Can you tell us more about it?
Eski,
How?
DM me. Send me a
DM,
message.
DM you.
Why are you talking?
You have to bill him first. um,
Eski, I charge per hour. Just DM me. We'll talk more.
okay. What about the ideas of having your own blog? Yeah. I think I should address this. I
Yeah.
think it's important to have your own domain, your own blog, and then cross post to other platforms. That's what I do. So it helps again because you want to have a space on the internet. You don't just want to put like, I'll give you an example, Medium. I remember when Medium, I was using Medium a lot. I'll just post there and leave it, post there and leave it. Eventually, the bad thing that could happen is Medium can, close shop. I'm not saying they will, but it can happen, and all your stuff is gone, right? So it's always good to have like syndicate your articles to other platforms, Hashnode, dev.co, there are lots, Medium, but make sure you first of all write it on your own personal blog. And yeah, that's my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will start writing back to back. I'm happy you would
Please,
start because yeah, the idea is to motivate people
please,
to.
and don't feel like oh, somebody has written it before. Like somebody has many people have written on CSS grids. Many people have written on CSS. Many people have written on optional chaining in JavaScript, but give still the video on it. Plug
Right?
in, plug in that video into the chat right now. Give still the video on
You
it
want to
that
go and watch my video. If you are here and you are not subscribed, what are you waiting
go
for? Shameless plug.
see, see,
Um,
be unnecessary with this thing. Right.
yeah,
Tell people, talk about what you like. Like me, every chat I'm on, I will shout about accessibility. Am I an expert? No. But I keep learning every day. And it has made me like connect with people that are experts and I'm learning more. Give
true.
me 10 more years. I will build people.
I had a question about that. You can imagine because we had plenty questions on the chat. I could not cover my questions, but to wrap up, I have this last segment I want to introduce to this series where I ask you random question.
Yeah.
1 minute you have to answer in
Okay.
1 minute. Don't think about it. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. First, VS Code or Sublime?
VS Code.
Tabs or Spaces?
Tabs.
Mercurial or Git?
Gates.
Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode.
Remote work or office work?
Remote. You see this couch? I sleep on this couch.
The opposite, but yeah, yeah, a lot of what you choose is also my would be my response rather. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that wraps up this interview with Obinna. Obinna, thank you so much for
Man.
coming on. This was fun, right?
Yes. Let's do this. Let's do more of this. Let's do more of this. And
Yeah.
and just like let me just do my own shameless plug. So I'm doing a live stream on the 14th on building an e-commerce store with Gatsby. And if you all want to like just see how Gatsby scales with, I'm going to be using like a store, a Shopify store that has like up to 20,000 SKUs. So that's a lot of products. And we're going to see how it scales. So come and hang out
Nice.
with me.
Where,
And
where, where,
I,
where?
I will put this. I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get like the channel. I'll link it. Just let's link it in the description.
Okay. I'll link everything Ubina said.
Ah,
Eskid is saying how many shameless plugs do you
yes,
have?
yes.
Guys,
I say advocate for yourself. Advocate. Put it
if you
out
don't see
there.
it, you don't know who is watching, right? So just shameless plug everything. But yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in. I will be having this again next month. And is Chulo today? Our
Chulo,
guest, our guest,
Chulo.
but just
We have a
spoiler.
guest.
Let's spoil it.
Why you the
Chulo
hide? Come,
stand up.
come. Chulo, come.
But
Please, this is our
our
daddy.
next guest, and he's going to be talking to us about how to invest as a tech person, like how to invest in stocks, cryptocurrency, everything. This guy is a billionaire.
Yes, Bilam. Bilam. Anywhere you mean, Bilam.
Yeah, Chulo, I'm looking forward to having you next. All right. Thank you all.
All right. Right.
Bye.